Hair Debate podcast. The Hair Debate is a community where hair lovers and professionals come to discuss all things hair. Love, we debate and debunk these conversations. I'm your host, Morello Kane, trichologist, author, speaker. Yes, Miss Haven. Can I call you Miss Haven?
Oh, Margaret, you're fine.
Margaret. Oh, I almost feel like I'm disrespecting you, calling
No,
you
go
Margaret.
ahead.
Okay. But Margaret Love, I've been in this industry for over 20 years. And so I like to feel and say that I'm an expert. Okay, I
Okay.
like to say that.
Mhm.
And again, this is Miss Margaret Haven. And Miss Haven, I'm just gonna it's a
Okay,
respect
okay.
thing. I'm here to tell you. I'm sitting here with a real veteran, okay? Like who she is to me. And so Miss Haven,
Mhm.
like I like to say that you're a chemist. You know, I have this
Mhm.
vision of you all in there doing, formulas and everything all around. And so, are you a chemist?
Well, I'm a scientist. I like to say scientist.
Okay,
And the reason I say that, because if you're a chemist, really, you have to have a strong mathematical background. And I don't.
really?
Yeah. I mean, I need one more course, 1 year course of calculus. But the chemistry
Wow.
courses, most of them at the school I took, except for P-Chem, which we call physical chem. So
Yes.
I didn't take that. And I know people love to say they're chemists, but to me, it's just like saying a nurse say, I'm a doctor.
Okay.
And they may do a lot of the procedures doctors do, but they're not registered as a doctor. So each his own. Each
Okay.
his own,
Okay. A
yeah.
scientist. Okay.
I'm a food scientist by trade. By going
Okay.
to school, I went to Alabama A&M. Yeah,
Okay.
ACBU. And I'm a food scientist, but when I started looking for a job, and people would say,
Okay.
well, what you looking for? I said, I'm a food scientist looking for a job in the lab. And they said, do you cook? I said, yeah, I cook, but that's not exactly what I do. They did not know. This was in the early 70s, yeah, 60s,
Oh
70s. Yeah, and so before
wow.
you were born.
Oh.
And they really didn't know what I did. So
Hmm.
then I got an offer to work in cosmetic science. So I'm a
Okay.
cosmetic scientist as well as a food scientist.
Okay, so how long have when how did that process start?
Mm.
The cosmetic part of it.
Well, what happened was, I was in Atlanta,
Okay.
and I no at that time no, I just came from college. That's right. I was at OSU, and I was looking for a job. You know, when
Hmm.
you can't find a job, where do you go? You go home. So in Savannah, I grew up in Savannah, Georgia,
Okay.
and I knocked on every door
Wow.
in that little industrial park. I'm saying, you ain't looking for a job, you know. And so the owner, not owner, he was the
Yes.
manager really, and Mario de LaGuardia. He said, "Well, yeah, we got a position, not yet." And you think like yada yada yada. I didn't want to stay in Savannah anyhow. you'd be crying wolf. But but anyhow, I went back to Atlanta,
Yes.
and they called me 2.5 years later. My mom and I
Mm.
had the same name. She's passed now, but Margaret Haven. So he traced her
Wow.
because they moved from the place in Savannah to Thunderbolt, which is near Savannah State, up in that area. And he called. He found it. Mama said, "Well, she was pleased, yeah, because she hadn't seen me, in a while. I'm a baby girl. Is this
Okay.
televised?" No, I'm not.
I love it.
No, so anyhow, he said, this is when they came out with the no lie relaxer. I was part of the
Okay.
group that came out with that.
Okay. Uh, okay. Now, love.
Is this
Okay. What?
important?
No, okay. Okay.
Segue. Hey,
Since
I'm
we're
sorry.
now, since you just rolled us right into that, this so it's a lot now. When it comes to the relaxer world, and so now you send the commercials;
Mhm.
they're everywhere now, and so they're talking about um these lawsuits. Everything right now is centered around the controversy with the relaxers. And but you know what, love, it's just that my thought was, you had the professionals using it, but then you also have consumers using it. And so but it's not They're not talking about who was actually applying. They're talking about the ingredients.
Yeah, and then when they say relaxer, well, technically, a thioglycolic acid or Jerry curl will
Oh,
relax your
oh, she about
hair.
to bring the sound. Go ahead now.
Will relax your hair too, because the way it is saying is relaxing the curl.
Yes.
So people use that word back and forth, but really you got
Okay.
different active ingredients. When
Okay.
Mario came up with the no lie relaxer, that was
Mhm.
because sodium hydroxide was used as an active ingredient, which
Mhm.
is everybody remember seeing Denzel Washington in the picture when he put the relaxer on his head and he ran to
Yeah,
the ball. Okay, that was
nigga.
kind of like common to some people because everybody was mixing up their own. It was what you call potash.
Really? Okay.
Potash was sodium hydroxide, okay? And
Okay.
yeah, and the grease, and so they mix it and they made their own thing. Now, when we come about
Really?
like Jerry curl, that's a that's a
Okay.
thioglycolic acid. So that's something different. It's a different
Okay.
chemical. When I ask somebody, and sometimes I hate to hear about these studies because some of these studies are just not thorough, I believe,
Okay.
all right?
Mhm.
But, and I remember I had two good teachers at, I went to Ohio State too. And one teacher said, whenever you read a study, make sure you look at the information.
Okay.
And these abstracts, this is what scientists use. And
Mhm.
he said they could say 66% of the people did XYZ, but they could only use three people. And out of the
Wow.
three, only two.
Wow.
So you have to be careful. People like
Wow.
to use these terms and stuff. So, like, you're right. When the relaxer came out, the no lie relaxer, another no, when the lie relaxer, some people
Mhm.
said, what's the difference in no lie? I said, it's a marketing thing. Lie meant sodium hydroxide. That's why they use the word lie, and that's where it came with no lie. It's just like I said, go to the Xerox machine and make some copies, and
Yes.
you say, well, there's no Xerox machine. There's a Brother. There's a Canon.
And then, yeah.
But but it is the same thing. Okay, that's how people. So
Yes.
anyhow, when it came out with the lie, it was for professionals only.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, there was certain stores. Your beauty and barber stores did not sell to everyone.
Okay.
Then I guess they found that they started changing the rule there. I don't know who changed it, the manufacturer or the supplier, vendor.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know who changed it, but anyhow, they changed it and they started selling it. Now you're right about the basing. People don't base. People were
Mhm.
doing it every 3 to 4 weeks. I
Yeah.
said what?
Yeah.
And when they
Mhm.
say people don't test, no, let me tell you, every company I work with, we test. If I was in charge, we test. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So we ask about Margaret, yeah, she tests. And we test raw ingredients as they came in. We test while they were being manufactured and the different procedures and how we change that because it's a really thick product. We tested in the actual salon. The numbers could be one thing, and
Yes.
the numbers are real close from super regular. Was that mild?
Mhm.
Yeah, and we check it on the line, so it's constantly checked. So I really need to thoroughly read the document. Your strong cup of coffee. And read what they are saying because then it's talking about the phthalates. I read something about the phthalates,
Mhm.
PHT, LATE, phthalates. That could be right. But you find that's like something like a plasticizer, to soften the plastic.
Mhm.
But then you also use those chemicals in perfumes too. All in all, my thing is you need really good study,
Yes.
you know, unbiased study and see what actually happened. Yes, we test when the companies I work with, we did thorough lab tests, but that's how far we could go with it. It
Okay.
was no issue. It's like someone say there's a product problem with this particular item, and some people say, well, we didn't know because we never had to test it that far. We look
Right.
at the color, the odor, pH, and then the active ingredient is the big thing in the relaxers. The
Okay. Well,
active ingredient.
okay. So now,
Hmm.
since we're about to dig into these ingredients in these things, and it just takes me right there with our topic,
Hmm.
is how does ingredients in our products affect the environment? you know. And because see now that's the issue at hand that they were
Hmm.
talking about now are these ingredients. But like you said, you guys test these ingredients.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
We test as far as we can. Now, did we do GC analysis on it? No. Did we
No,
do
please, no, no.
I'm
What's the
sorry,
GC? No, no,
a
no, no.
gas
Please.
chromatography analysis?
Okay,
Did we take it any further? But again, now the supplier,
okay,
many times the supplier would test. But what I would demand from them was called certificate of analysis. Now everybody kind of know what that is, CC or CA.
okay.
Okay, you may have heard that. I would demand a CA, meaning that that first of all, the product that you gave for the research and development department who manufacture it.
Uh huh.
Now it's quality control. I was head of that. I'm
Okay,
making sure that every time you come in the door, that you're giving us what you say you're giving us,
okay,
according to your specifications.
okay,
Now, the way you do that is that some companies they do it themselves. So
okay,
there's some well-known companies out there. They go ahead and do it, and they verify, and they saying that they agree that this product is this. And so
okay,
every time we test the product, when the product comes in, you must have MSDS, what they now call safety SDS, safety data sheet.
I've seen.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
you must have that, and I had them to do a certificate of analysis, saying that verifying what you said. But
Okay,
sometimes you don't know there may be danger in something. Take
okay.
the food industry. Every time you look, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So you don't know about that, but what we knew, we test. Yeah, we
Exactly.
test that, and then we test I said the percent activity. If it had to fall in a real tight range, and he
Okay.
had a good instrument to test it with a titrometer, the automatic titrometer. That means it automatic titrates it for you, and it went
Okay.
real close, but two places behind the decimal point. That's good. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just like a regular titration, but
Mhm.
titration sometimes one drop is so big, but this we had the automatic titrometer that helped with
Exactly.
that. Yeah. So.
Exactly. So now, Miss Haven,
Mhm,
when it comes to the ingredients that's
mhm,
inside of relaxers,
mhm,
which can you find those ingredients in other things? You know,
mhm.
because here's the thing. It's just like okay. And again, so now, and let me just say this because
Mhm,
there are some individuals that they have had some things to go on with them, medically,
mhm, mhm.
and we don't take that lightly.
No, we don't.
We don't. We
Mm,
do not take that lightly.
mhm,
And first and foremost, I just want to put that out there, and to also say too that we're not saying that the relaxers had no place. That's not where, we're not arguing that fact. But now fact is fact.
mhm,
My thing is truly putting truth out there so that way people know truth. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot that is said and we can, operate and kind of run from assumptions, but truth is truth. So now let's look at ingredients
mhm,
because, we tend to think that when it comes to products that we place on our bodies, that it's just in that lotion, it's just in that hair product, it's just in that, and it's just, and it's like, but did you know that that ingredient was also in these other products right here
mhm.
that you may have used to, and I don't know. So I'm thinking
No,
possibly
no,
clean
no,
with
no,
or.
no, no, no. Just in general, you're right. You're right on that. See, you reading your ingredients. I see. Good. No, the first word, like I said, we don't take anything lightly. I just sometimes get mad when a piece of the information comes out, and then people
Yes.
run to that.
The-
But where's the other
yes.
side? Did you look at that? That's as a scientist, that's what you do. You look at all sides, and there's
Absolutely.
more than two sides to a coin. Okay,
Absolutely.
because but you want to know not only the ingredients located in another product, the purity of that ingredient. All
Mm.
suppliers are not the same. Uh,
Wow.
um, one episode, I won't name the company, but
Yes, please. We want to say your name.
not on air. But anyhow, we used to get glycerin in tanks.
Yeah.
You know, same those
Wow.
tanks out there.
Okay.
Yeah, with 6,000 gallons.
Wow.
Yeah, and I turned it back because it had a set in it that was. It
Okay.
showed me that it was contaminated. It gave me the
Mm.
impression that it was contaminated. Because sometimes you can do all the tests in the real, but sometimes the smell, the eyes, they're real good. So someone brought it, but
The
really it was one of the
expertise.
team members brought it to my attention. When he came to the door,
Mm.
all of us stopped because he doesn't come in
Okay, wow.
He said, I think something's wrong with the product. And because we were so focused on the pH or whatever the product was.
Yes.
And when we turned around, we found that and the smell really would give me a headache. It was a hexane, it
Really?
was a hexane product. I
Okay.
get, yeah, I'm a scientist, but you get allergic to stuff too. But anyhow, excuse me, when I talked to they had the, me to talk to the guy together from New York,
Hmm.
and he was upset, and he was trying to say certain things, and can't we keep it, and then
Wow.
yeah, and don't you put when he asked me, don't you put fragrance in it?
Oh,
You're on
wow.
TV, I can't say it. I'm like, what? Yeah, but no, it is what we found out a little later on was that even though glycerin was in the tank truck,
Yes.
the hose that he used to take it from the tank to
Wow.
that was
Are
contaminated.
you
Yeah,
serious?
and so we had to end up doing dedicated hoses, dedicated trucks. See, some of these trucks were not dedicated. Now, if you're in the food industry, more than likely, back then, some may not. It'd be
Okay.
dedicated. That
Okay.
mean they only carry food items.
Right.
But sometimes these people, what they do, is not dedicated, and they were using the hose for something else. And we got to the
Wow.
this is what makes your procedure. This is the beauty of it. It makes your
Okay.
procedure. Now we got to the thing that we sniff the hoses before we can make the
Okay.
connection, just to make
But
sure.
okay, but let me
Uh-huh.
just okay. All praises goes to that guy. You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah,
because I'm just saying for him to be that tuned to say this smell for real.
yeah.
For him to and he wasn't lazy.
No, he
I,
was no, he was over that department. I'm gonna tell you how it works. People think that that person was successful for it. No, it's a team.
yes,
It's a team.
yes.
And when he came in, we all laughed and joked together. But when he came and had that serious look, everybody, I mean, if I had a picture, everybody turned around and stopped, like, what? He said, and he didn't come across like, he just
Right.
said, I think, because what happened, he would take the bucket of was when they pour,
Uh
and
huh.
he poured it into his tank, and he said, this doesn't smell right. So
Wow.
it passed the test,
Okay.
except for odor.
Wow.
Yeah.
What that?
Cause we were
Ah.
about to let it go, and then me, I'm like, cause my nose, my sister might say it's dead, but anyhow, I'm not a good sniffer. So what I did, I took it to several people. I
Wow.
knew, then they call them noses,
Okay.
cause people were good with sense, and you took it to them. I said, what do you think about this? And only thing with me when I sniff it, I start getting a headache. It's like cleaning
Okay.
fluid. That's what it,
Okay.
like cleaning fluid. That's what it smell like.
Oh wow. Oh
Mm-hmm.
wow. So now in some of the ingredients
Mm-hmm.
in relaxers, you
Mm-hmm.
can find some of those ingredients in
Yeah.
what other items?
Okay, there's a baby lotion that has sodium hydroxide. Cause they use sodium hydroxide as a pH adjuster. See, just
Okay.
because it's sodium hydroxide, yeah, but it's a pH adjuster, it's not gonna be like sodium hydroxide per se. It's then soap, bar soap,
Oh, oh,
bar soap.
okay. You know
That's how
what?
you make lye soap.
Okay, guys, we're about to go to church on this because see, we have. I'm just like it's like okay, Dick. Okay, because here's the thing: when it comes to ingredients,
Hmm.
and people would say, oh, because see now we've taught them
I know.
to look at ingredients.
I know.
Oh, alcohol. Oh, I got But
Hmm.
as you just stated, some of these things are not as black and white as we see them or may know them to be. Can you please address some of the things that we may think it operates as this manner and is bad,
Hmm.
but this is the purpose of it?
Hmm. Okay, when first of all you said alcohol, people there's acetyl alcohol, CETYL.
I've seen.
That's a fatty alcohol. It's not like the isopropyl alcohol, ISP.
Yes.
No, it's not like IPA. I'm sorry, isopropyl alcohol. It's not like that. It's a dry and all.
Yes.
Yeah, people get confused on that. Then you got witch hazel, which is astringent, but there's different types of witch hazel. There's witch hazel that has alcohol in it, and there's witch hazel that does not have alcohol.
Wow.
Then you get SB, specially denatured SD alcohol, and that's when they put something in it like that's what you use. You have to have a license to work with that.
Okay.
Yeah, and they use
Okay.
that for. But people get, like a little knowledge is dangerous thing.
Okay.
Like Shakespeare said, "Drink not from the
Jesus.
what spring." It is because you really got to. And then again, sometimes when they combine themselves with another chemical, and there's nothing wrong with chemicals. Okay, water is a chemical. It's in the periodic chart. H2O.
Oh, did
Oxygen is a
it's
chemical.
not
Love it. And they go carbon dioxide. Yeah, but no, it's. I mean, I love the idea. The whole thing. I love the interest people have taken interest in science.
no,
I
no.
love science.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I,
yes.
I was a nerd, and when I got my little 25 cents, I run down to the Ace Hardware store in Savannah
Are
and
you
buy a magnifying glass.
wow. Not the
Yeah,
candy store.
no,
Like what
no.
we was
Go down there in Savannah, yeah, and because we had good. There's one guy in Savannah, teacher, Dr. Johnson, and he wasn't Dr. Johnson. He was Mr. Charlie Johnson, but he finally got his degree. He encouraged a lot of students. My
Wow.
class is 1967,
Wow.
Beach High School. We have a lot of people in the science arena.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's some others to teach, Mrs. Marbley. And we had there's a good mesh of teachers, people, and neighbors, who encourage you about stuff. So, but no, I love it. I love it because I said there's science in everything you do. When you
Yes.
dance, you walk, that's science.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
but and when people, and I like the arts too because I like STEM.
Okay.
I like STEAM more so than
Yes.
STEM because you
Okay.
combine the arts in it because you have to have that creative spirit.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
no,
right.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I
So
love
yeah,
that.
so. But anyhow, it's like a lot of ingredients. There are ingredients in the food industry that we use in the cosmetic industry.
Yes.
Yeah, and the natural movement. I want to plug about the natural movement. The natural movement really caused the chemists to get more involved in the work
Oh,
because again
okay.
there were a lot of information. If I
Yes.
came to somebody and said I want to make a product, tell my supervisor, yeah, I want to use this oil that's over there in another country. Be
Yes.
like Margaret,
Ri-
because you didn't know about the oil, you didn't know if you could
okay.
get the resource. You have to
Okay.
know about it. France
Wow.
take vacations. Yeah,
Yes.
they close down, and so there's a lot of stuff during that time you didn't know. Didn't
Okay.
have didn't have literature. They had literature on soybean oil, rapeseed oil, which is canola. What else? Because they made margarine out
It-
of yeah,
yes.
yeah. So then they had that going for themselves, but
Mm.
the other stuff no. And now it's caused that people get mad, upset. I said, no, you know what it is? It's called opportunity. It's called
Yes.
opportunity now to go and read and learn. Where they don't have no literature and no documentation, but now it's called opportunity. Go to these vendors and tell them, hey,
Yes.
I'll do some research. I'm a cosmetologist, I'm a trichologist. I want to learn more. I want to do more. I want to do something about it. I want to find out what it could do. Because otherwise,
Yes.
you have, folklore. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, okay, now we still have
Hmm.
more information that we need to dig into,
Hmm.
and I know this is going to take us to a part two because, guys, I'm here to tell you we
Hmm.
have a veteran sitting right here, a scientist. Okay, so all your questions when it comes to ingredients and all of this environment, and so we are going to take this to a part two.
Okay.
Okay, and so Miss Haven, for because somehow people may not can wait for the part two. They need to find you like right now. Okay,
Okay.
so 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 please, how can our followers contact you?
Okay. Havenresearchcenter.com.
Yes,
That's my website. And
yes,
okay.
yes. Please, thank you.
678 337 8628.
I'm here to tell you, and see that's what I'm talking about. She in there working on formulas and all of that. She but don't even like. Okay, let me get my numbers straight, cause she got so much else going through what these ingredients and all of that. But definitely come back to part two because we're going to be discussing, how these ingredients, how they interact. Cosmetics versus food. How are they affecting the environment? But we will find out on part two. Stay tuned. Morel Ocain, the Hair Debate, where we debunk, debate, and discover all things hair.
Visit moralocaine.com. Follow us on all social media at The Hair Debate and at Morel Ocain. Don't forget to like and share.